You're probably wondering why I care so much about a box plastic. To give context for that though, I think we need to go back like 4 years. I don't have a watch.
2 weeks. The number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold.
Yeah, I think we all remember where we were during this time. How long our hair was, what books we finally cracked open, and what movies and shows we had so much time to consume. For me, one of those shows was Neon Genesis Evangelion. The show is a mecha anime, following Shinji Ikari and his newfound duties as an EVA pilot. Sounds pretty standard for something involving big robots, right? Well, I thought so too. That was until... Jesus. Yep, it's been memed about to death. The depression, metaphors, the orange juice? Yeah, Evangelion is a worldwide phenomenon, not just for being a visually incredible anime, but for having people interpret its mythology and symbolisms in any way they wanted. That was part of the fun. The show was a way for its creator, Hideaki Anno, to pour his feelings into a visual medium, and as it turns out, that resonated with an incredibly large audience. One of my best friends had introduced me to the show, and while I knew just how important the show was, I never really knew why. And even when I watched all 26 episodes of the original series, I was still struggling to understand that sentiment. Well, that wasn't until I watched the original run's true ending, the end of Evangelion. Hang on, I think I dropped something. Transition. Okay, so recently me and my friends got into Gunpla. So if you guys don't know what Gunpla is, it's basically a model kit where you can make mecha robots. For me, it's a very therapeutic process, and that's why I got into it. So last month, me and my friends did this thing where we each bought a kit and respectively we built them together in one place. And this time I'm going to be building the Evangelion Unit 1, which is Shinji Ikari's unit from the anime. So yeah, I'm very excited. One of my friends actually built this already and he said it was a pretty complicated process. So I'm looking forward to that challenge. So yeah, I'm very excited to be building this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Hey guys, welcome back.
So leading up to the end of Evangelion, the original series had tackled like a plethora of different themes. So you got mental health, anxiety, parental neglect. It's a pretty heavy show. And all this within the confines of a mecha anime. But for those who have watched it, it was never really about the cool big robot action. It was about getting in the headspace of those who pilot said big robots. Yeah, there is a monster of the week quality to the show, but it never lost focus in its attempt to deconstruct the psychology, for lack of a better term, of its central characters. And I will get to that in a second. Let's build more Gunpla.
Alright, so this is my set right here. Big part of my hard one. Unfortunate that Riri has no set though.
He makes more money than me, by the way. It has 0 app crunch, dude. See that? Got a crotch though. Girl's gonna go crazy.
For a quick rundown of all of them, Evangelion is riddled with troubled characters. Shinji is anxiety riddled, and he wants to prove to his father and his peers that he isn't worthless, and the only way he knows how is to handle things that are bigger than himself, which is not the healthiest thing to do. Asuka is proud and she's a capable EVA pilot, but she has difficulty expressing her true feelings to others as a result of some really messed up trauma. And then you got Misato. She's carefree. She's a social butterfly, but ultimately throughout the show you see her drown in a multitude of vices just to gain some semblance of stability and control in her own life. And as a result of that, she pushes away anything real that comes into said life. I think we've all, at least in some point of our lives, have related to some semblance of these character struggles. The way the show presents them might make you dislike those qualities initially. But the more the show goes on, and depending on who you resonate with the most, you kind of just realize that they're just people trying to deal with their own issues while also trying to do their day job. That is what, we try to do every waking day, except the backdrop is completely different and completely fictional, but the emotions are still there. I think that's where End of Evangelion opened my eyes. And that's where I think I learned to appreciate the show more as a result.
What do you like about Evangelion?
I got sad watching that. Sad right now.
Robot.
I don't spoil it here, but I remember reviewing End of Eva on my Letterboxd, so let's read that together. God, when did I write this? Okay, so I watched it on December 19th, 2020, and I quote, "All the patience it reserves in this first few episodes builds up to something so poignantly staggering in this finale. It's a grandiose and ambitious work of animation that will resonate with me for years to come." And I that pretty much still stands true to this day. It is a bit pretentious for sure, but you'd have to agree with how many is this? 150,000 people who gave it 5 stars. Again, I'm not spoiling anything, but in relation to the film, try to remember a point in your life where you've just been put in massive amounts of emotional pain. I think in moments like those, it'd be pretty hard to figure out what to do with yourself. But I'm sure when you think of those moments, you think about a person or a group of people that kind of helped you out of it. That is what I personally think Evangelion is all about. Despite the struggles we face and the inevitability of hurt coming into our lives, that hurt becomes nothing when you know you don't have to face it alone.
What?
The "you're not alone" trope or journey that End of Evangelion is able to explore is singular in my opinion. It hits differently than, say, a Guardians of the Galaxy or an Adventure Time. There's such a desolate nature to Evangelion that really suits the world because of the state of the characters. But when it's able to have its more lighthearted moments, it feels so deserved because of how much time you spent with them suffering and just fighting big aliens.
The dance scene with the 1-minute choreo.
So that was Alaskan shit.
Yeah, the one they had to learn. Just you could see the timer in the corner. Wow.
There was a timer in the corner. I don't even remember that.
I think in Netflix there was.
While the concept of Evangelion at its very core isn't the most innovative, its underlying tone and the characters are ultimately what make you stay to watch it. It's certainly what made me stay for 26 episodes and a movie. And ultimately, in that experience of mine, when it did finally end in that movie, I was overwhelmed by the realization of how badly the show itself crept up on me, and I didn't even realize it. Evangelion, it's a show that's not for everyone, for sure, but I just want to say my piece as to why it means so much to me, and hopefully explain why it might mean a lot to you. The show is very cryptic, and a lot of it is just Hideaki Anno saying, "I'm gonna put this cool thing here." But I think there's beauty in something that you don't necessarily understand. Even when you're taking it all in, you're able to feel so much because of it. Very few films and shows have been able to have that kind of power on me. I haven't seen Rebuild yet, but if I do, I'll probably get back to you guys on that. Oh, and I finished the kit, so I'm very happy with how this turned out.
How was Gundam Night Day?
That's all we got.
700,000 people queued.
Oh wow. It's because it's cheap.
I hate it.
So as I said in the last one, sleep early and stay hydrated. Shinji?